So in this example, we're going to rewrite this into a form that's the same sort of thing as a mixed number, where we'll have some sort of polynomial expression and then a fraction where we have something over x minus 3. That something should just be a number in this case, so let's just call it a. So the top has to be of a degree that's lower than the bottom, because this part has to be a proper fraction. It's a bit like when you have 7 over 4 and you write it as 1 3/4. The fraction part is a proper fraction. And in the case of algebraic fractions, we mean the degree is less than the degree of the bottom. So since the bottom here has a degree of 1, the top has to have a degree of 0. So it's just a number. There's a couple of different ways of doing this. You can do it by a method that some people call jiggling, which is basically just fiddling around with the thing. So because I've got x minus 3 on the bottom, what I'm going to do is split the top into x squared minus 3x minus x. See what I've done with the negative 4x there, plus 5. Put that over x minus 3. And then I'm going to split the fraction, x squared minus 3x over x minus 3. And then I'll have take away, well actually let's do it as a plus, I think. And then I would have negative x plus 5 over x minus 3. And then for the first term there, I can write that as x minus 3 over x minus 3, and you can probably see what's going to happen there. Over here, I'm going to write that as negative x plus 3 plus 2 over x minus 3. And then this first term, got some cancelling, and I've just got an x. And I'm going to split that second fraction. So I'll split it into negative x plus 3 over x minus 3 plus 2 over x minus 3. And you can see I've got this bit now, the bit that I was on about over there. And that is going to be x plus negative 1 x take 3 on x take 3 plus 2 on x take 3. You can see what's going to happen here. So I have x take away 1 plus 2 over x take away 3. Now personally I find that a fiddly sort of method. Let's do an algebraic division instead. Now you may not have done this before, so this is going to be a quick explanation of this. You do sort of need to know how to do this process for functions. You can probably squeeze your way through without understanding this process, but it's best to have it. So what we start with is we look at the x here and we say, what do we need to multiply that by to get the highest term here? And in this case, you multiply it by x. And then you take the x up here and you multiply it by both the x and the x minus 3. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. You put it there and it's just like a long division. You now subtract. Now what should happen is that these should disappear when you subtract. Otherwise you've probably done something wrong. So that does disappear. X squared minus x squared is 0. Then I've got negative 4x take away negative 3x. So that's negative 4x add 3x. That's negative x, and at that point you drop the 5 down to here. I then say, well, what do I multiply that by to get this? Well, I multiply it by negative 1. So I put the negative 1 up there. Multiply the negative 1 by x, and that's negative x. Negative 1 times negative 3 is plus 3. And we subtract again, and we get 2. And that there is the remainder. And then we can say the x squared minus 4x plus 5 over x minus 3, the improper fraction that we had, is going to be equal to the quotient x minus 1. Sorry, I'll just rewrite that. That was a bit scrappy. X minus 1 plus the remainder over x minus 3. And you can see we got the same result. It's worth practicing some of this because it is useful in the functions part of the course.